Have you ever wondered what would happen if a president, the most powerful man in a country, decided to pretend to be a poor patient in a hospital? What if he wanted to see the truth with his own eyes? What if he wanted to feel the pain of his people? This is the shocking story of President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. What he did will surprise you. What he found will shock you even more. This is not just a story. This is a lesson for every leader, every worker, and every person who wants to know the truth. President Ibrahim Traoré was tired of hearing complaints. People said hospitals were bad. They said doctors did not care. Nurses were rude. Medicine was missing. The president wanted to know if this was true, but he knew if he visited as the president, everyone would act nice. They would hide the truth. He needed a plan. He decided to pretend to be sick. He wanted to see the real hospital, not the fake one they show to important people. He woke up before sunrise. He put on old clothes. He wore a torn shirt and dirty pants. He put on a hat to hide his face. He looked in the mirror. He did not look like a president. He looked like a poor farmer. He left the palace quietly. No guards. No cars. No one knew. He walked through the streets. The city was waking up. People were going to work. No one looked at him. No one knew who he was. He felt free, but also nervous. What would happen next? He reached the biggest hospital in the city. The building was old. The paint was peeling. People were sitting outside, waiting. Some were coughing. Some were crying. Some looked very tired. The president joined the line. He waited like everyone else. The guard at the door did not care. He just waved him in. Inside, the waiting room was full. Too many people. Some were sitting on the floor. Some were sleeping on benches. The air was hot and smelled bad. The president felt sad. He had never seen this before. He went to the desk. A nurse was there. She looked tired and angry. She did not smile. She did not say hello. She just said, "Take a number and wait." The president took a number. It was 56. The board showed 12. He sat down. He waited. He watched everything. He saw a mother with a baby. The baby was crying. The mother looked worried. She asked the nurse for help. The nurse said, "Wait your turn." The mother sat down and cried. The president felt angry. He wanted to help, but he could not show who he was. Time moved slowly. The president waited for hours. He saw many things. He saw an old man fall on the floor. People shouted for help. The nurse did not move. She just said, "Wait, the doctor is busy." The old man lay there for a long time. Finally, another patient helped him up. The president could not believe it. He thought, "Is this how my people are treated?" He felt pain in his heart. He saw a young boy with a swollen leg. The boy's father begged for help. The nurse said, "We are full. Wait outside." The boy cried. The father tried to comfort him. The president watched, feeling helpless. He saw a woman with a bandaged arm. She told another patient, "I have been here since yesterday. No one has seen me yet." The president listened to every story. He saw every face. He felt every pain. Finally, his number was called. He went to the doctor's room. The doctor did not look at him. He was busy writing. He said, "What is your problem?" The president said he had a headache and fever. The doctor did not check him. He did not touch him. He just wrote a paper and said, "Go to the pharmacy." Next, the president was shocked. The doctor did not care. He did not even look at his face. The president went to the pharmacy. The line was long. People were angry. The pharmacist looked tired. She said, "No medicine, only paracetamol. Take it or leave it." The president took the medicine. He felt hopeless. He saw a woman crying. She said her child needed medicine, but there was none. The president wanted to cry too. He left the hospital. He sat on a bench outside. He saw the same mother with the baby. She was still waiting. He asked her, "Why do you wait?" She said, "I have no choice. I have hope. Maybe someone will help." The president felt her pain. He thought, "I must do something. This cannot continue." That night, the president went back to the palace. He took off his old clothes. He looked in the mirror. He saw a tired man, not a president. He called his ministers. He told them everything. He said, "We must change. We must fix our hospitals. We must care for our people." The ministers were shocked. They did not know things were so bad. The president ordered a big investigation. He said, "No more lies. I want the truth." The next day, the president wanted to see more. He dressed as a school teacher. He took a bus to a hospital in a small town. The bus was crowded. People talked about their problems. One woman said, "My husband is sick. The hospital has no beds." Another man said, "My son broke his arm. We waited all day." The president listened. He felt their pain. At the small town hospital, things were different. The building was small but clean. The nurse at the desk smiled. She said, "Welcome. How can I help you?" The president said he felt sick. The nurse asked questions. She checked his temperature. She gave him water. The doctor was old but gentle. He listened. He checked the president's pulse. He asked about his family. He gave advice. He said, "Rest and drink water. If you feel worse, come back." The president thanked him. He saw that not all hospitals were bad. Some people cared. He felt hope. He left the hospital and walked through the town. He saw a group of children playing. One boy fell and scraped his knee. The other children ran to help. They took him to the nurse. She cleaned the wound and gave him a sweet. The boy smiled. The president watched. He thought, kindness is powerful. Even small acts can heal. He went back to the city. He visited more hospitals. Sometimes he was a farmer. Sometimes he was an old man. Each time, he saw new problems. In one hospital, the roof was leaking. Rainwater dripped onto the floor. Patients moved their chairs to stay dry. In another hospital, the power went out. The nurses used candles to see. The president wrote down everything. He made a big list of problems. He met a young nurse named Awa. She worked day and night. She cared for every patient. She smiled. Even when she was tired, she told the president, "We need more help. We need more staff. We need more medicine." The president listened. He promised himself to remember her words. He met an old doctor named Musa. Dr. Musa had worked for 40 years. He said, "I have seen good times and bad. We need leaders who care. We need leaders who listen." The president nodded. He knew Dr. Musa was right. He called a big meeting. He told his ministers, "We must fix every hospital. We must train our doctors and nurses. We must buy more medicine. We must build new buildings. We must reward good workers. We must punish those who do not care." The ministers listened. They started to work. They sent teams to every hospital. They checked everything. They talked to patients. They made reports. Things started to change. The hospitals became cleaner. The staff became kinder. There was more medicine. The people felt hope. They said, "Our president cares. He knows our pain." The story spread. People in other countries heard about it. They were shocked. They said, "This is a true leader." But the president did not stop. He wanted to see if the changes were real. He went in disguise again. He visited a hospital in the far north. The road was long and hard. The hospital was small and poor, but the staff tried their best. They shared what little they had. The president saw that hope was growing. He went back to the palace. He called his ministers again. He said, "We must never stop caring. We must always check. We must always listen." The ministers agreed. They made a rule. Every year, the president or a minister would visit hospitals in disguise. They would see the truth for themselves. The people were happy. They trusted their leader. They knew he cared. The story of President Traoré became famous. Children learned it in school. They learned that a good leader must feel the pain of his people. They learned that hope and kindness can change the world. But the president wanted to do more. He started a new program. He sent young doctors to villages. He gave scholarships to students who wanted to be nurses. He built new clinics in places where there were none. He made sure every clinic had clean water and electricity. He visited the new clinics. He talked to the staff. He listened to their problems. One day, he met a young girl named Miriam. She was sick, but she smiled. She said, "I want to be a doctor when I grow up. I want to help people." The president smiled back. He said, "You can do it. Never give up." He gave her a book about medicine. Miriam hugged the book. She said, "Thank you, mister." The president felt hope for the future. He met a mother named Fatou. She had 3 children. She said, "Before, we had no clinic. My children were always sick. Now, we have a nurse. We have medicine. My children are healthy." The president was happy. He saw that his work was making a difference. He visited a hospital in the mountains. The road was dangerous. The car almost got stuck. But the president did not turn back. He wanted to see the truth. At the hospital, he met a doctor who had come from another country to help. The doctor said, "Your people are strong. They just need a chance." The president thanked him. He promised to send more help. He went to a hospital near the border. Many people there spoke a different language. The staff used signs and pictures to talk to patients. The president saw that kindness did not need words. A smile, a gentle touch, a helping hand, these things were the same everywhere. He visited a hospital in the desert. The sun was hot. The air was dry. The hospital had little water. The staff saved every drop. They used clean sand to wash their hands when there was no water. The president was amazed by their creativity. He promised to build a well for the hospital. He met a group of old women. They sang songs to cheer up the patients. Their voices were soft but strong. The president listened. He felt peace in his heart. He thought, healing is not just medicine, it is also love and hope. He went back to the palace. He called his ministers again. He said, "We must help every hospital. We must listen to every patient. We must care for every person." The ministers agreed. They worked day and night. They sent help to every corner of the country. The people saw the changes. They felt hope. They trusted their leader. They knew he cared. The story of President Traoré became a legend. People told it everywhere. They said, "This is a president who walks with his people. This is a leader who listens." Children learned the story in school. They learned that true leaders care for everyone, not just the rich or the powerful. They learned that hope and kindness can change the world. And so, the story of President Ibrahim Traoré, the president who pretended to be a patient, became a legend. It was a story of courage, truth, and hope. It was a story that shocked everyone, and it was a story that will never be forgotten. And that is the story of President Ibrahim Traoré, the leader who pretended to be a patient and changed his country forever. His journey teaches us that real leaders listen, care, and act. They do not hide from the truth. They walk with their people and bring hope where there is pain. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more amazing African tales, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click the subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you never miss a new story. Share this video with your friends and family, and let us know in the comments what you would do if you were in President Traoré's shoes. Thank you for watching, and remember, every story has a lesson, and every lesson can change a life. See you in the next story.